All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Sorry for the slight technical difficulties getting started. Again, my name is Zahir Master. I'm president of Accelerated Information Systems. And joining me today is Jack Dower, the Senior Enterprise Account Manager at HelloSign. And we'll go through our agenda real quick, and then I'll turn it over to Jack to go through his slides. So today we're going to talk a little bit about HelloSign, why we should use eSignatures, what is an API, some HelloSign use cases. Then we'll do a brief introduction into Laserfiche, why the benefits of Laserfiche Cloud, and then finally go into our eSignature ECM integration overview, and finally we'll end with a live demo and Q&A. And I'll go ahead and turn over to Jack. Jack, just let me know when you want me to advance your slides.
Sure thing, Zahir. Thank you. And hey, everybody, I'm Jack Dower. I've been with HelloSign for just over 6 years now, and really excited to talk to you about it today. It is a really easy tool to use, and time and again, we've seen some really positive impacts with customers. So just to give you a little bit of background on our company, we were founded back in 2010. We were actually founded as a HelloFax, so we only did e-faxing back in the day. That's how we got on the map. Right after that, we were part of an incubator program called Y Combinator, and they've some brands you might have heard of, Airbnb, Stripe. We came through the same, college, if you will, as them in our process of becoming a company. Then moving on, we partnered with Google pretty quickly. Google Ventures invested in HelloSign, so we built some integrations with their Google Drive, and quickly thereafter Gmail and some other Google apps. And then in 2014, we're going to be talking about this quite a bit today. Our API was released, and our API, we're going to talk more about it, like I said, but is known in the industry to be the easiest to implement and the easiest to use, along with free support, which you can't find at any other company. Finally, we were acquired by Dropbox in 2019. It's been a great ride with them, and looking forward to the future. Ever since we started with Dropbox, or were acquired by Dropbox rather, we have seen some really interesting features coming down the pike, added features, making this tool even better for our clients at a much more rapid rate than when we were a private company. So really good things. Next slide, please. So we have 120,000 clients in over 150 countries, and you might notice here these examples are for what they use HelloSign for, not necessarily the type of company it is. Obviously, Target is not an HR onboarding company. They use HelloSign for HR onboarding. As well as sign up an application, really common for our API users to build this into their website. Cotopaxi, an outdoor apparel, made that very easy for their vendors to get onboarded. Obviously, transactions and sales, it's really important to speed up that process at the end of the quarter. So a lot of folks use us for that. And then taxes, insurance, loans, these are obviously really paper-heavy lines of business. So we really do well in that state as well. And talking about a lot of paperwork, real estate, we've done a lot of work in real estate, especially in real estate tech online. SnapDocs you may have heard of, Brokerment, these are some of the bigger ones. Next slide, please. So really, what does it come down to for the benefits of using eSignature? Well, obviously, we're going to speed things up. If you're using a paper, print, sign, scan, walking the contract around the office for all those different things that need to be signed, we're looking at up to an 80% increase in the speed of those contracts being completed and available to anyone in your company that would need access to them. So obviously that's really, that's pretty startling how much you can add to the speed, but also think about the productivity that creates for the folks that we're sending those, the people, the admins that were walking them around the office, printing and scanning them in. Think of all the other things they could be doing, all that value of, the opportunity cost. That is another thing to consider with eSignatures. The other side of the coin, security. What happens to these documents once they're signed? Well, they are secured very well, bank level security, in fact, both in transit and at rest. We have an ISO 27001 facility. We are HIPAA compliant, so we can work with doctors. So really, all of those different acronyms that relate to security and compliance, we've gone the distance and are, those things are available to our clients. And finally, how do we reduce the risk? Well, all of our documents, once they're completed, are tamper-proof, meaning nobody can make any alterations to that document, as well as we have a full audit trail showing all the moments in that document's life, timestamps, IP addresses, names, and email addresses of every single person that took part in the signing of that document, and that is the last page of every completed document with HelloSign. Next slide, please. So we want to talk a little bit about APIs today, because when we pass things over to Zahir, that is what we're talking about, is how the HelloSign API can enhance things. So what is an API? It stands for Application Programming Interface. And it's a really long mouthful there for something that I just describe as a plug. A plug that can add some functionality to something that's existing but isn't there already. So think about, a company maybe that sells t-shirts on a website. Well, maybe they didn't have any way to legally accept credit cards. They had to do COD like the old days. There is a way very easily through a company called Stripe. You can plug this in. Stripe's already got the PCI compliance to make this legal to have these credit cards, and now that website can accept credit cards legally on the same interface where folks were going before. Or maybe they have some special and they want to let their existing clients know about that special. Well, they have no way to reach them other than their email address, perhaps. So maybe they want to reach them more urgently with a text message. And a company called Twilio, you can plug in some code right into the website, and now you're going to be able to send text messages based upon what you'd like to message your clients. And finally, maybe for some vendor onboarding, they needed some legal e-signatures to get those t-shirt vendors legally binding with their agreements, and they could build that into the website and perhaps use HelloSign. So really, an API, think of it as a tool that can add functionality to something you already use every day. Next slide, please. So HelloSign, not really a vertical specific solution. As you can imagine, pretty much all businesses are going to need important documents signed during the year. It's just that simple. So we are really more of a line of business solution. So obviously, sales will start there. They're looking for faster time to revenue. They've got the deadlines at the end of the quarter to hit their number. So there's going to be a real easy way to attract them and for them to see that benefit of e-signature. Reducing risk. Hey, the salespeople, I've been in sales for almost 20 years. Very easy to make a mistake on that contract and have it voided, have to send a new contract. Well, we're going to reduce that risk, especially with the API, where we can pre-fill all the fields before they send it out. So simply the document just needs to be signed by the client and whoever within the company that needs to sign. And once again, obviously, if we're speeding things up for them, making sure they're not making mistakes, that's going to allow more productivity, the salespeople to get in contact with other folks and perhaps raise that end of quarter sales number, of course. And the thing that really happens very often with us is we'll start in one department or one line of business like sales, and perhaps there'll be a management meeting, and the sales director will be talking to the HR director and find out that they're using this great new tool in e-signatures and saving a ton of time. Well, the HR director, great, I could use a tool to close my candidates faster. It would be great to have that transparency for my whole department to see when the candidates are moving through the process. So then the HR team will sign up just organically. And then obviously finance procurement tends to follow. A lot of documents there. Big thing for them, secure storage, obviously. We were going to talk more about our security in a few slides here, but that is a big offering that we have outside of that speed and productivity. Next slide, please. So some differentiators about us. First off, this isn't a differentiator, but I just wanted everybody to know that we do have templates available. A template is a commonly used document like an NDA or a purchase order, something that's going to be the exact same document every time. It's just going to change, who's signing it and what's filled into that document by the recipients. So we have a SKU where you can have unlimited templates, where that way you have an unlimited library in which to populate those documents so they can just be ready to go. You don't have to upload them and drag and drop signature fields onto them every time to save on time, of course. And we mentioned we're 80% faster on average than relying on the print, sign, scan workflows. That's obviously, really important for folks that are still in that mode. And we can find these contracts from anywhere and access them. Where they're in the cloud. We're going to talk more about the cloud today in Zahir's portion, but typical branches of the company, finance, HR, facilities, operations are very common to use HelloSign. Next slide, please. We do offer full white labeling with the API. That means getting rid of HelloSign logos, and any colors that you'd like to change. That is your choice. We are very unique in that respect in terms of other competitors out there where you could be paying them $1 million a year and you're still going to see their logo on every single page that they're signing. So that's a nice thing that we have to offer that is very different in the market. We have a much higher adoption because of the folks that buy our tool and get started with it, because it's a very streamlined interface. We're rated the highest by a software evaluation tool called G2 Crowd. They interview or offer surveys to real clients of these software companies. And we're rated highest in eSignature in our ease of use, our ease of administration. And it's really because how much attention we pay to making this tool as simple as possible. So somebody that's never used an eSignature tool can be up and running using it in the same day. Next slide, please. So here, next slide, please. Thank you. So our API is fully embeddable. What that means is you can take everything that we offer in our HelloSign web app where you log in and send documents. You can take everything that we offer on our web app and embed it into the tools you would like. And that's what Zahir is going to be talking about in a little while here with the ECM presentation. But you can take the tools, your CRM, your ECM, whatever your system of record you'd like, and you can plug in the facets of eSignature all in there, so the folks that are using that tool are just going to see some expanded functionality without having to learn a brand new system. We are known as the most implementable software. We're going to talk about how quickly you can get integrated with HelloSign in a minute. And we do have Sandbox available. Not a Sandbox, excuse me. We allow testing. I should change that slide. So free testing with 6 software developer kits. And that's going to make it so folks can build out the entire integration, test it, have it running exactly as they'd like in production before they've spent a nickel on HelloSign. We even offer free developer support, another differentiator that no other company provides, where the developers can be in contact with our engineers at HelloSign to solve any confusion. Next slide, please. So security. To dig into this a little bit more, we're encrypting the document itself when it is in transit and at rest, and that is bank level security. That's that AES 256-bit encryption. That is bank level security for all documents, whether they're being sent to the recipient or just sitting in the cloud. We use a private bug bounty program. What that means is we have these hackers that are just trying to penetrate our system every day, and we pay them based upon holes or openings that they found in order for us to obviously have some sort of bad things happen. It's the same company actually that the Department of Defense uses at the Pentagon. So a pretty cool tool, or a pretty cool offering that we have to our clients just for some added peace of mind there. We do use Amazon Web Services for our servers. It's ISO AE16 audited. So very secure. The audit trail as well. It's going to note all those timestamps and IP addresses of folks that are interacting with the document. And the documents, as I mentioned before, tamper-proof. There's no way you can make any marks or new signatures in the document once they've been signed. Finally, we are SOC 2 Type 1 and Type 2 compliant. That is so we can work with major financial institutions. And for added peace of mind, HIPAA compliancy. It is very difficult to attain HIPAA compliancy. It's a very expensive and time-taking process. Obviously, when we're dealing with patient health information, that has to be key. But just for that added peace of mind, we've gone as far as getting that HIPAA compliance, so your data is very safe. Next slide, please. So we are the fastest to integrate in the business, as I was talking about a moment ago. 2.5 days is our average integration time. That obviously takes into account some of our very simple integrations out there that aren't embedded into tools. They're just using HelloSign to host and automating the sending. And those folks get up and running, you know, almost 40% of them in less than a day of developer time, so super fast. But really most folks fall into the other category where almost 90% are getting up and running in less than 5 days of developer time, so less than 40 hours. So if you're paying, you know, an outside developer, a third party to develop this for you, they're going to spend a lot less time. Your bill is going to be a lot lower, of course, with these faster development times. We are the fastest to implement versus our 15 biggest competitors. And once again, that's from that G2 Crowd survey service. Next slide, please. Just to give you a reason or some visuals as to why we are more implementable and faster, here is the difference between HelloSign and DocuSign's API, just showing you what it would take to send one signature request of code. So there's HelloSign on the left, and obviously not only is it longer on the right for DocuSign, but their font is much smaller, so we fit a lot more on there that way. So really easy to see visually how much HelloSign is going to stand above our competitors with the API. Next slide, please. So some final just recap differentiators for us. We're an API first company. We do a new release every 3 weeks, meaning new features, bug fixes every single 3 weeks. I've been at the company for 6 years, like I said. That's been our cadence all along. That is our commitment to our customers, to always be making a better tool. We are the fastest, least complicated implementation. I just talked about that, so we'll leave that there. Best pricing, something I didn't mention. In addition to all these great features, differentiators, we are typically 2 to 3 times cheaper than the DocuSigns, than the Adobe Signs of the world. So just another added reason to take a look at HelloSign. And of course, our amazing user experience. I don't have time to show you a demo today, but folks that would like to see a demo, we can certainly set that up. It's a very easy tool to use. Even if you're coming from the paper sign scan world, you'll be up and running within an afternoon, I can guarantee. Finally, dedicated support. We offer free support, whether that you're a customer, whether you're before you're a customer evaluating the tool, even on our most sophisticated tool, the API, where that is completely free support. And you will not find another API support pre-sale team at any of our competitors. Next slide, please. So finally, just a little visual of how we compare to our biggest 2 competitors. As you can see, these categories, we win every one. You know, might not be the biggest margin in some, but still in every single category, in a DocuSign and Adobe Sign, much larger companies than us. So we've been able, and this is before we were acquired, actually, this was taken. So really pretty impressive. We are going to be the best bang for your buck for the eSignature tool, and best of all, you're going to be satisfied compared to our competitors. All right, I'll turn it over to Zahir now. I think it's his turn.
Thank you, Jack. Appreciate the introduction and all the background on HelloSign. So now we're going to talk a little bit about Accelerated and Laserfiche. So Accelerated, we've been around since 2005. We have over 16 years of experience, and our firm is focused on content management and process automation. We are a Laserfiche Winner's Circle solution provider, and we were the inaugural Laserfiche Cloud Solution Provider of the Year for Laserfiche Cloud in 2019. A little bit about Laserfiche. Laserfiche has been around since 1987. They launched Laserfiche Cloud in 2015. Laserfiche was recently named a Gartner Magic Quadrant Visionary for the cloud for the Content Services Platform. Laserfiche Cloud is also the highest rated solution on Gartner Peer Insights, which is a collection of reviews only by users of the software, and verified users, I should add there. Laserfiche also has several of the certifications, such as the SOC 2 Type 2 Plus, the HIPAA, VPAT, Section 508, and HECVAT for our higher education customers. And for all of our customers, they take great pride in knowing their documents are safe with DoD 5015.2 certified records management. Some of the capabilities of Laserfiche include automating the records retention in records management, enforcing and naming filing conventions, audit trail on every document. Our workflow allows you to automate your business process, route documents, have approvals, notifications, and reminders. You get full reporting on all of your processes. It's really easy to build your processes. And we also have external sharing with our direct share capability. With our eForms, you can collect data from mobile or web devices. You can have remote access or reduce costs, build in inline help to your forms, have required fields, and we have over 100 pre-built forms and processes in our solution templates library. Now, why are customers choosing Laserfiche Cloud? Well, the top reason is that there's no IT burden or infrastructure required. Laserfiche, again, Laserfiche Cloud is powered by Amazon Web Services. You're getting automated updates every month, automated data backup and security. You can access your content and forms from anywhere. It also enables organizations to start with a smaller initial investment and then scale up with the limited scalability of the cloud. Finally, Laserfiche Cloud is easy to budget for and to plan for. All systems from Laserfiche Cloud include hosting on Amazon Web Services. You get 100 gigs of pooled storage per full user. You get full support from Accelerated and from Laserfiche. Our cloud system includes automated backups, automatic updates, and built-in disaster recovery. And you also get access to the online knowledge base and our answers forum. So here's a quick look at the new tiers for Laserfiche Cloud. Starting with the starter package, it has no minimum requirements for users. You can securely store and manage access to your content across the organization. It includes full text searching of all documents, the Microsoft Office 365 integration, external file sharing with DirectShare, and also mobile access from iOS and Android devices. Stepping up to the professional tier, you get all the features of Starter, and now we're going to add workflow and eForms on there so you can automate those processes across your organization. It includes 5 users to start, and you can add additional users from there. And you can also add on modules like records management or public or forms portals. Finally, we have the business tier, which includes all the features of professional, but is a more all-inclusive license type. It includes 25 full users to start, and it also includes the SDK, records management, and unlimited forms portals and read-only portal. So with that, we'd like to go ahead and show you guys a demonstration or walk through the outline of the Laserfiche HelloSign integration that's been developed by the team here at Accelerate. So one of the things we've heard from a lot of customers is that they wanted to make the e-signatures in Laserfiche Cloud more easy and more accessible. So really, within Laserfiche Cloud, it's super easy to use the HelloSign integration. All you have to do is select the document in Laserfiche. You'll simply enter the signer name and email address. The document is sent out through the API that Jack mentioned to HelloSign, which then sends it out for signature. And once the document is signed, it's again returned back through that API to Laserfiche, where you have the option of creating a new document or creating a new version of your existing document. Some of the key benefits for the HelloSign integration with Laserfiche Cloud is that you can send a document for e-signature with or without a template. You can also have multiple signers with the option to set the signature order. This document sent directly from Laserfiche Cloud. The signed copies will be automatically uploaded to the repository. And again, we have full support for dev test mode, so you can test your processes, test the signature functionality without using any of your signatures or envelopes. Some of the use cases that we're seeing for this signature are contracts, as Jack mentioned, sales and finance and HR, HR onboarding and offboarding, the financial aid process for higher education, vendor onboarding, and service agreements. So with that, let's go ahead and hop into the live demonstration. So here on screen, you'll see that I'm logged into my Laserfiche Cloud, and I'll select my HelloSign demo folder. When I look at the center console here, so I have a couple of agreements and an NDA. So let's say in a typical business arrangement, we would want to first sign an NDA before we sign a contract. So to do that, I simply select the NDA from here, and you'll see on the right side here, we have the HelloSign request panel. So this is our integration. It's built in and available directly from the Laserfish interface. So you don't have to click anywhere else or use any other windows. And you'll see that as soon as I select the ID or the entry, the ID here will update. So it automatically knows which document I've selected. And now I have the option to either send it with the HelloSign templates, or I can send the Laserfish entry. So because this is an NDA that we're going to be using a template for, I'm going to send it with the HelloSign templates. I'll click Next. And then I can choose my template. So now it's gone into my account and it's retrieved all of the available templates. We also have the template ID here so you can match it up directly with the HelloSign templates on the back end. So when I click on this, I can then go ahead and select my options here. Do I want to update this version or create a new file? Since this is an NDA that I use with multiple signers, or I want to send it to multiple companies, I'm going to create a new file. By default, it's going to send it to my signed documents path. I can call this signed NDA for demo. Now we'll go down and we'll go ahead and enter the signer information. So I'll go ahead and put my information here. Also put in my email. And then the counterparty here, you can go ahead and put Mr. John Smith here, and we'll go ahead and put his email. Once I've filled in all the required fields, all I do is click Submit. And you'll see that I will get a message right in the panel here that the signature request has been sent. Now what's going to happen is that Laserfish Cloud is sending this out through its API to HelloSign. And what I'm going to get is an email here showing that I have a signature request. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy this link and open it up here. So I click on that link, it takes me directly to HelloSign. And again, because this is in test mode, this is not a legitimate signature right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the mock signature. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get started here. And you'll see that it's going to take me right down. I can actually read the whole non-disclosure agreement here. And then I can go ahead and click here to sign. So I'll click here to sign and enter my signature. Go ahead and insert that. That's the only place I have to sign on here. At the top, it says we've completed all the fields. Go ahead and click continue. Click agree to the terms. And now I am done with my portion of the document signing. What's going to happen is that my counterpart will also get an email with a notification to sign the document. So here you'll see that we have this, again, this email. Very easy, just click on the review and sign portion here, and this will open up. And now again, because we're in test mode, this is just a mock signature. Hit OK. Go ahead and click Get Started down here. It takes me right to where I have to sign. And now I'm going to sign as John Smith. So go ahead and insert the signature there. Now we're done. Again, I get the green box. We're good to go. Hit Continue, hit Agree, and that's it. We've signed this agreement. Now, again, I'll go back to Laserfish, and you'll see in both of our inboxes, I'm going to actually get an email notification that we have completed the signing. Just give that a second to come through. And when I go back to Laserfish, you'll see my original document is still here. Then I'll go into my signed documents, and there is the document that we just signed. It's a signed NDA for demo. Creation date is today at 2:30 Eastern. I'll go ahead and click this and open it up. And as I scroll down, you'll see that I have my document. I have both of the signatures here. And again, the part that Jack mentioned earlier, we have the full audit trail included with the document. So I can see the time that the document was sent. And again, this is in universal time here. I can see that it was viewed by myself, viewed by my counterparty, and then the document has been completed. Super easy, integrated right into Laserfish Cloud, and took less than 5 minutes for me to send that document out for signature and complete that signature request. So again, with Accelerated and Laserfish Cloud and HelloSign, we're automating that business process and also making it really easy to complete the signing of the document. Now I'm going to go back and let's say I want to pick a different option here. So now that we've signed the NDA, we actually want to go ahead and sign the agreement. So I have our agreement here. Again, now when I select that, I can choose whether I want to send it to the templates, but because this agreement may have been customized, we may have changed some clauses. I'm going to go ahead and send it with a Laserfiche entry this time. Again, the wizard walks me through. So when I click next here, I get multiple options here. So let's walk through the different request types here. I can send a single signature request. This would be good for something like an acknowledgement, for example, an employee handbook. I can do multiple signings and set the signing order. So in case I want to ensure the customer signs before I sign, we can do multiple signers and no set signing order for cases where it doesn't matter which party signs first. Or we can do multiple separate signature requests. And this would be great, let's say, if you had a number of, let's say, W-4 forms or I-9s you'd send out to, let's say, some student workers where you want to have multiple of these sent out. I'm going to pick multiple signers and no signing order. It doesn't matter how these documents are signed. Now, instead of creating a new file, we're going to update this version. So when this is done, I want this document, instead of sending a new document into my signed documents folder, I want to replace the version of this with a new version that's been signed. So I'll go ahead and we will do multiple signers. So I can go ahead and click the plus button here. And you'll see when I do that, I can actually drag and reorder if I want to have the signers be in a different order. Again, the order doesn't matter to us here. Both parties have to sign the agreement. So I'll go ahead and put my name in here. I'll put my email address. Don't need to put a message for myself. Go ahead and put my customer here. So again, select Mr. John Smith. Say, John, oops. Please sign this contract. Okay, so now, again, if we wanted to reorder this, we can reorder it, but signing order doesn't matter in this case, so we'll just go ahead and click submit. And again, we'll get confirmation right here within the Laserfiche window that the signature request has been sent out. Now, again, similar to the last agreement that we sent out, the NDA, going to wait a second for this to go through the API to the loan sign servers, and then it's going to come back to me. So here I have the email that's got the review and sign here. So I'll just go ahead and copy that link here, open it in here. And again, we're saying this is a mock signature just because we're in the test mode right now. Go ahead and get started. Go out here to the signature page. I'll click sign. Insert that in here. Again, click continue. And again, I'm just going to agree there. So that is done on this part here. Now going to my customer, again, we'll come in here, click review and sign. And now my customer says, okay, again, this is a mock signature. Go ahead and read through this whole agreement. Again, this is just some sample text there. I can see that the counterparty is already signed. So I'll go ahead and sign it here. I'll sign it as John Smith. Insert that here. Again, get the green box at the top that everything has been completed. Click continue and agree. And again, we're completed now. So when I go back to Laserfiche now, what'll happen is I'll just give this a second to update. And when I refresh this page, you'll see that we're going to have that document be updated as a new version. Just give that a second to update here. And in the meantime, both customers are getting, or both parties are getting, the notification that everybody has signed the signature page. Okay, great. I got the same email here that it's been signed. And now I go back to Laserfiche here, click the refresh, and you'll see that that Word document just switched from a Word document to a PDF. So when I go in here now, click on that. Now, instead of it being a Word document, I have my sample agreement here. Scroll all the way down to the bottom. And then I have, again, the document ID from HelloSign. I have my user ID, the IP address, date and time of signature, and the same thing for my customer. So again, legally binding signature inserted right into Laserfiche. Couldn't be any easier to use and very simple to implement and very, very user-friendly. So that brings us to the end of our very simple and easy to use demonstration. I'm going to go ahead and pause this here, pause my screen sharing.